My name's Pete Wicks. I have been in management consulting, man and boy, probably for the last 23 years, but frankly, I've forgotten counting now. So my career's taken me through defence, health, financial services, various public sector type organisations, and some internal roles where I am until May this year, where I'm currently head of transformation in part of Atos, where I'm involved in helping to integrate a company we bought called Atos Syntel, now called Atos Syntel, for, what was it, £3.4 billion, 23,000 people, and a whole host of new capabilities coming in. So my consulting career hasn't stopped. It's still keeping me very challenged and very much stretched and very much getting into doing new things and having new experiences. But first, let me tell you about Atos, and then let's go on to talk about where Atos Consulting fits in within Atos. So if I can have the next slide, please. Perhaps that's the better one, yes. So I realise you're all MBAs. I don't normally share this slide. This is one we share with our investors, but as MBAs, I'm sure you're into numbers and ratios, so I thought, well, why not? Let's give this one a go. So Atos is a large, very large IT company. I'm having to get used to it. I've been with Atos a good few years. We've doubled at least in size in the last 10 years, and we continue to grow. As I've mentioned, we've just had an acquisition as well. So we're about 110,000 people this year, and we have just sold off another business which we've grown from scratch, which takes about another 20,000 people who will be running themselves very independently in the future. We're about 110,000 people and 11 billion euros turnover this year. You can find us in 70 countries. So by that I mean we have offices in 70 countries. We obviously operate in most of the countries in the world by flying people around. We are very strong in cloud services as a technology business, and like all IT companies, we have a good blend of offshore employees and onshore employees. Part of my role, a quirky part of my role in the UK, is making sure that we operate as one big happy family. So we have joint events with our offices in Pune in India. Also, we have capabilities in Poland, where I spent a year out there, and the UK. So we run joint events. So we try and foster this family feel across what is a very large company indeed. I won't read the rest of the numbers off there for you. I'm sure those of you who have sped read an interest have done so. So that's Atos in numbers, but what do we actually do? So if I can go on to the next slide now. It's a remarkably similar slide to Johnny's slide, first of all. We operate in a number of industries. We don't operate everywhere. The world is too big for us. But we're big in healthcare. As you can see, 1,000 major hospitals across Europe. If you come to the UK, if you go up to Scotland, all the IT systems, for example, for Scottish National Health Service, Atos is quietly behind that. We have big capabilities in energy and utility and some nice names there. I've resisted the temptation to put logos on the screen. As a big company, we have a number of big logos, as you'd expect. Telecoms, media and technology, we are into, if you, again, are in the UK, or if you're familiar with a British Broadcasting Corporation, if you stream programs legally or otherwise from them, then you can thank Atos. We provide the pre-streaming services. We provide a lot of the broadcasting services. And if you watch the Olympics in London, that would have been Atos not only organising the Olympics from an IT perspective, all the systems, all the visas, and we were also broadcasting all the TV rights. So we have some absolutely fascinating parts of our business going on. We're in retail, logistics and transport. So various train companies, we provide the ticketing behind them very quietly and successfully. Public sector and defence is one of our bigger areas. We're strong in defence in quite a number of countries in Europe, less strong in America, but hopefully that will change, and very strong locally in lots of public sector organisations of a whole variety. In manufacturing, again, we have a presence there. We're very strong, particularly in Germany, in manufacturing. And for example, in Austria, we have a factory. A lot of people talk about manufacturing and the Internet of Things and how things could change. We've gone one step further. With an Austrian university, we've set up our own factory. It makes bicycles, but it uses advanced techniques, and we use that to demonstrate the art of the possible, what can be in the future. And in financial services and insurance, you can see we're 13 of the 20 leading banks. We help to serve them, along with others, of course, and over half of the largest insurance organisations. So Atos is a big, sprawling organisation. We are everywhere and very few people notice us, but there's an awful lot that goes on that Atos is quietly behind. And as an IT company, it's quite an exciting IT company. But where does management consulting fit into it? So if we go on to my next slide, um, essentially every opportunity that any IT services company have starts with a business conversation. So we focus on organizations that really want to grab the opportunities that are coming thick and fast now in what is vaguely called the digital age. So I'm talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, process robotics, digital workplace, etc., etc. There are a whole host of capabilities being thrown as industry, as opportunities and as disruption factors for them. So we focus on those organizations that want to make a change. And our clients have an absolute appetite for making a change. So for one utilities company, we are working with them on a 3-year program to fundamentally change the way they relate to their customers, to change all their IT systems to make them best-in-class, state-of-the-art type IT systems. And if it feels like it's all very IT-ish, there are people involved in this as well. So consulting will be scoping out what the business requirement is, taking the customer by the hand and leading them through the entire transformation process going through. Can I have the next slide, please? So what do we do in consulting? We do a number of things. You can see here 12 different areas that we specialize in. Some of them as MBAs will be very familiar to you. So like digital strategy and business design is what it says on the tin. What the hell are we going to do and how the hell are we going to get there? I think it's my summary for strategy. Writing business cases, supporting our clients in arguing the case through the board. That will be what consulting get involved in. Customer experience and digital marketing. We have a team with a lead-in soccer club, and the soccer club has about 5 million followers around the world, and they actually engage with about 20,000 of them. So how do they change that and have a meaningful relationship with the 5 million, not the 20,000? So that's a nice nebulous business problem we get involved in. Digital workplace, how to work more efficiently with all these wonderful tools you have, including WebEx. Digital organization, how do we organize ourselves as a business to take advantage of this? How do we carry our people in through what are very disruptive and disturbing times? Next one, digital process excellence. What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? And then we come on to analytics, as I've alluded to, automation and intelligence. We have tie-ups with Google, so we run Google's artificial intelligence labs to take our clients through the sheer potential of artificial intelligence. We have labs, as I've alluded to, for detective technologies and blockchain, so we can take our clients through how that's going to impact them at a business sense. And the great joy of Atos as a management consultant is you can follow the conversation through from scoping out the business problem, scoping out the solution, and then pass it through into the rest of Atos to deliver it at scale if they want to. We also have a technology capability within consulting as well, so we have more than a nebulous grants of consulting. I have colleagues that know it in depth and they sit in consulting as well. We can help people moving onto the cloud, which is a big issue for a lot of people. Information, governance, risk compliance, again, is becoming a very big issue. How do you keep your data secure? How do you keep your suppliers' data secure? How do you keep your people secure is all in that mix, as indeed is the identity and access management. How do you make sure you're open and free to do business with everybody whilst keeping yourself very protected? So in consulting, we have a number of themes that we focus on. We take those themes from a business perspective, drive out the business issue, recommend a solution, and very probably, but not always, it will be delivered by Atos or a number of our large partners. So that's roughly what we do. It's kept me entertained for 22, 23 years now. The question is, how can you get involved? So we look to employ about 400 hires each year. That is the graduate and MBA type hires. We obviously employ other people in other ranges in much larger numbers. And generally each year we offer about 1,000 internships for people that don't really know, but would like to find out more and get involved and get some experience. So those are the numbers we're looking at for this year. Globally, as I say, we have offices in many companies of the world. The hotspots for us are France, Germany, Benelux, which in Atos terms also includes the Nordics, UK, obviously, Poland and South America. You might ask where the US is for that. The simple reason is we've just bought Atos Syntel, which is a large American company, so we're not planning to recruit there too aggressively this year. What I would say, though, is if there's an Atos office near you, it's always worth making contact with them to see if they're recruiting more locally. But the big numbers are in those countries. And we are looking at all technical areas, and I've just been through the types of things that we get involved in. So if you feel you have skills, experience, or just a burning appetite to get involved in it, then we would be interested in you. And how do you get involved? Well, we are at a number of university recruitment fairs and business school recruitment fairs as well. I don't know, I don't think we've got a list of where you guys come from. But the easiest way is to approach your local Atos company, and the easiest way to get a hold of them is through our website, and there will be a subsection there called Careers.